progress and getting him ready to the offense?
Yeah, I mean, obviously adding a piece like that's exciting. A guy with the big play ability that Golden brings. You see him, making highlight plays all the time, and just things he can do after the catch get you excited. And obviously we haven't practiced yet, so it'll be pretty cool to finally get out there today and kind of see how he moves and get to know him as a receiver and everything. So getting to know him off the field just a little bit. Definitely excited to work with him, and I think he's I think he fits in really well with this culture, and he's going to help us for sure.
Did Howie or Doug reach out to you about that possibility before the trade went through?
Yeah, I leave that stuff up to them. We were on bye week. I was trying to get away, so I leave that up to them, and they've made great decisions and executed great, really over the last couple of years since I've been here. So I have full confidence in their decisions on that, and I stay out of it.
Do you have a process to go through? To get used to a new receiver?
I mean, everyone's different. Everyone's different. Obviously, the more reps, the better. But at the same time, you try and you turn on the film of what he's done in Detroit to try and just see his body language a little bit on routes and what he's good at and those types of things. So, like I said, it'll be big to finally get out there today and finally start to get used to him and build that chemistry right away.
How did you hear Carson?
And where were you when you heard?
I was in North Dakota hunting and everything, and coach reached out to me and informed me that was going down. So, yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Did you have any temptation to come back and begin working with him immediately, or?
Yeah, I knew the receivers coach, Coach Brewer, and those guys were definitely on it, and they knew. And at the same time, I think we all tried to maximize our bye week and just get our minds away from this. So definitely started talking to Golden right away, but I didn't come back early to work with him. Just started texting about things and building that chemistry.
Coming back from the off the field, he said you sent one of the first messages. You invited him to church over there. What do you do off the field to try to build that relationship?
Yeah, I mean, off the field, it's obviously tough in the middle of the season. We're all busy. We got families. We got things going on. So it's sometimes hard to build that chemistry outside of the facility and everything. But just getting to know each other as best you can. Road games and everything are really big for that. And just staying in each other's ears about life and just getting to know him as a person. Like you said, inviting him to church, those types of things. Just trying to get to know him is something you can do. But again, it's tough during the season to fully build that bond and everything outside the facility for sure.
Carson, how difficult is this stretch coming up for you guys? You have a lot of work ahead of you at 4-4, and you look at the schedule like, wow, it's a real tough schedule coming up. How do you try to simplify that, and how difficult is this stretch coming up for you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the last half of the season really, it's a tough stretch for everyone. I mean, it really kind of decides a lot of things, and for us though, we just simplify it into one game at a time. Right now we have the Dallas Cowboys this week. We're excited about that. They get to come into our house Sunday Night Football. Everyone's always excited for the Cowboys in general. Now it's national television, all that fun stuff. So for us, we really just simplify it one game at a time, and we're excited. We're definitely excited for this matchup.
What does it mean to you to get another weapon on offense? I mean, obviously there are injuries on defense. They could have gone that way and everything. Like, how much does that help you?
I mean, I love it. I love it. I mean, anytime we can add weapons and guys like Golden with big play capabilities, I think it makes us, the potential to be much more explosive and just keep building, trying to find ways to get big plays and those types of things. So I'm always excited anytime we can add weapons like that.
What do you attribute the dramatic increase in your accuracy this season?
I think just better decision making. Not trying to force the ball down the field all the time, and just taking what the defense gives me. I think a lot of it also just has to do with how defense is playing us. We are getting probably overall more soft zone than we have in the past. So just taking the underneath stuff is probably part of it.
You've had the opportunity to play opposite Dak a few times now. What trait about him stands out that you admire?
Yeah, coming into the league at the same time as Dak and knowing him as a person and as a competitor, I just love his competitiveness. I think we're both kind of wired the same way in that area, and just he's always going to compete and fight till the end, and I'm kind of wired the same way, so I definitely admire that about him.
In the press conference after the Jags game, you said you would take a long look at the fumbles. What did you find out when you looked at it?
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the game. Everyone's kind of its own thing. I never want to just say it's part of the game. It happens. I want to clean it up, and but at the same time, each is such an individualized play and case. So overall, just got to try and be better with that and get the ball out quicker in some of those situations.
Carson, what have you seen from
from Dallas's defense, new defensive play caller. Has it been a little bit different on film?
Yeah, a little bit different. Overall they do a lot of similar stuff, but their starting point is a little bit different. A lot more one high coverage this year, and but again, it's the similar players. They still fly around. They got extremely sound players. They're coached well, you can tell, and overall it's very similar, but just a little bit different with their starting point and some of their coverages. But the way they play up front and everything, it's very similar.
What's important coming out of the bye? Some teams come out of it pretty sluggish.
Yeah, like you said, avoid coming out sluggish. I think over the years, sometimes you come out of bye weeks or long, weekends for like Thursday night games, a little slow and everything, and that's something we've already talked about and emphasized for really starting today at practice fast, and just coming out fast, coming out swinging right away on Sunday. That'll be big for us.
As a rehab this offseason, you had a wedding, a whole bunch of stuff. Was this bye week probably the biggest break you've had in a while? Was it good for you?
Yeah, the bye week was great. I think it, for really the entire team, came at a perfect time. Middle of the season, you couldn't ask for a better bye week than that, and just to be able to get away and refresh my mind, like you said, with the rehab and everything that's been going on last off season. This was a big break for me, both physically and mentally, for sure.
As a quarterback and a leader, how do you keep everyone happy now that you've added a significant piece on offense?
Yeah, I think first of all, the idea of keeping everyone happy, I think first and foremost it stems from just the culture we have in place. We realize, 1 week it might be somebody with the 100-yard game and a couple touchdowns, and the next week it's going to be probably someone different. And that's just the culture we've built around here of unselfishness and spreading the ball out. So I'm really not worried about that. I know the play calling and everything will really just take care of that itself. But that's a luxury that we have. We can spread the ball out. We can find the mismatch, whoever it is, each given week and take advantage of it.
Kelsey was rather honest on the radio this morning about his dislike for the Cowboys organization and their fans. What's your take on Dallas week? How do you feel about the rivalry?
Yeah, for me, I try to not make anything ever bigger than it is. At the end of the day, I know the fans and everyone takes this game maybe a little more seriously, a little more aggressively, you could probably call it. But for me, we got a game to win. And I try and keep my emotions the same. I'm definitely excited about it. Anytime we play a Sunday night game on national television, I'm always a little more excited about it. And I'm just adding the fact that it's Dallas, and I know the fans are going to be really, really live and really active. I think it'll be a fun environment.
Press Taylor was saying yesterday that you guys have embraced kind of standards over feelings when making corrections and being self-critical. Kind of what does that mean to you? How does that manifest itself on Mondays and Tuesdays?
Yeah, standards over feelings, something, Coach Taylor talks about quite a bit, and it's just being critical, being critical of yourself and always striving to be perfect. You're never going to be perfect in a game, but just being able to really dissect where you can improve every single play and strive to be perfect and strive to be great every time, and try and take the feelings and the emotions out of it, whether he's coaching me hard or whatever it is. Just kind of look at it over the idea of standards and just say, where can I improve?
What are some of the standards?
Yeah, it's just ultimately was the play successful. The standard is completions. The standard is making right decisions, right reads, all those things. And a lot of it you'll never fully know just looking at a stat column. It's something we talk about up in the QB room. Like I said, progressions, reads, decision making, all of that stuff, and just being able to be coachable for sure.
Golden trains, I believe, with Zach and Darren in the offseason. What kind of scouting report did they bring to you about?
Yeah, haven't talked to them a bunch about their workouts with Golden. I just heard that they know he's a good dude, a good team, a hard worker, and so I'm excited to finally see that firsthand.
When it comes to on-field chemistry, and we're talking about Golden, does it help when a receiver can do things with sort of manufactured touches, whether it's a bubble screen, smoke screen, something like that?
Yeah, I think you could say that. I think anytime, a certain receiver, as in Golden's case, can do some different things, even in the run game, end arounds, those types of things, or catching quick passes and making, 10 yards out of 2 yards or something like that, and the potential to make big plays. I think it definitely helps, the idea of getting them involved early, and really just adds an element to that player for sure. So that definitely will help build that chemistry faster, no doubt.
Did you convince Mike Trout to come to the Phillies?
Mike and I, when we go hunting, we hang out. We don't talk too much baseball or football. We keep it strictly hunting and just hanging out and have a good time. That's our time to get away from our sports and everything. So we don't talk too much about that.
Are there any ducks left in the Dakota?
There's lots of ducks. There's lots of ducks and geese in North Dakota. We had a great trip. Like I said earlier, I mean, it was just a perfect timing for me and some of my friends and family just to all get together, get away, and get refreshed, recharged for the second half of the season.
Getting back to the previous question, you said you want to stay out of personnel decisions. Obviously, I don't need to tell you the status you have in the organization. Do you hope to, at some point, be involved in those or push the coaches to go a certain way in the front office?
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately, whether it's, like you said, personnel decisions, game planning decisions, all those things, having an opinion on things is big. But again, there's so many things that I already have to worry about from an X's and O's standpoint that I don't get too much involved in those things. And who knows someday, but right now I'm trusting them. They've never let me down so far. They've made great decisions, and I'm confident that they'll keep doing that. Thanks, guys.